We're at the end of another year. No matter how you spend it, this year's just about out of here. But you know what? I had to think about this for a minute. Everything ends. Now marinate on that for a minute. Everything under this sun, including the sun, ends at some point. Now, there's no changing that. You sit here and think about it. You can try to find some exceptions if you want to. If you get them, I'm all ears. I want to hear it. But I'm sticking with it. Everything ends. Now, we can't change that. I'm just going to put that out there. But what we can change is to how it ends, when it ends, and why it ends. That's right. I'm a big proponent of controlling the controllables. There are certain things in life that are resolute. They just don't change. And some things we just don't have control over. They're beyond our control. But there are things that we do control. This year is going to end, just like many other things in your life will end. But the how, the when, and the why, we can control. And they say how. How do you control the how it's going to end? Well, you can end it on a high note or a bad note. You can be negative or positive. It can be protracted, or it can be quick and sudden. It can be quiet and subtle, or you can go out with a bang. You can control the how it ends. And to some degree, we can control when it ends. Is it going to end on somebody else's time frame, or is it going to end on your time frame? And given the choice, I'd rather for it to end on my time frame. So since you know it's going to end, as all things do, let's stop being surprised when things end and letting other people dictate the terms of when it ends and why it ends. Now this next one gets a little trickier. The why. We think that that something in and that is fastidious. There is no gray area as to why it ends. It ended because A, B, C, or D. Well, I'm going to beg to differ today, because I'm going to say that it depends on your perspective. Let me give you an example. The day ends. A day ends. Now you think that, wait, that's pretty, there's no quiet to that. Well, it depends. It could end because the clock struck midnight and there were 24 hours that passed. That's why the day ended. It could have ended because your work day, you punched the clock at 5 o'clock and the day was over. Okay? You could say that the day ended because the sun went down. That's why the day ended. Okay? Clock struck midnight, that's why. You finished your work, you punched out, that's why. The sun went down, the day is over, it's ended. So as you can see, we have more control over that why than we are led to believe. And sometimes somebody else is writing the story as to why. Now we got to live in the world of reality, but why things end sometimes is more tied to our purpose. And sometimes we don't see the silver lining in it because somebody else is writing that story for us. So yes, we do have control over the ending, the why, the how, and the when. Now some final thoughts. As we go into 2022, take stock of what's happening around you, because before things end, they tend to change. You're not as blindsided. Sometimes we don't notice the changes or acknowledge them. But even when you're in the bed at night and you're about to end your night, your sleep, your slumber for the day, your breathing pattern changes. So things don't just happen out of the blue. Take stock of the changes around you. Understand that change means to make or become different. You can make it or you can become. So know what you can change. Know what you cannot change. This earth is going to take about 365 revolutions around the sun in 2022. That's immutable. That's not much we can do about that. But what happens on this earth, there are endless possibilities for us to change. So folks, that's my message, my